Okay, folks, this is Australia Day. Yep, the January the 26th, 2021, Australia Day. So it's a hot day too, it's a heat wave. Not as hot as what I was expecting it, but it was still hot, and that's the sunshine outside and the sky. So we've got a hot day happening, and apparently there'll be a cool change around, if I remember correctly, 10 o'clock, according to the news. I heard on the news. And it's Australia Day. What a day to have a heat wave, folks. It's a bit hot in this unit. I'll probably have to put the fan on later, maybe, but there will be a cool change, so hopefully I won't need the fan. I'm trying to save electricity. I'm not rich. I can't afford a big power bill, folks. So, yeah, hopefully we can live without the fan in this summer. Anyway, let's see what we have. We have here, very much appropriate for the day, Aussie temporary tattoos. So temporary tattoos with Aussie theme on it. So this is indeed for the Australia Day. I've made it that way. So we're just going to do a movement of this, make it into something interesting. I'm not really celebrating Australia Day. I see Australia Day shouldn't be celebrated just with recreational activities like barbecues and boats and floaties, or inflatables and swimming pools and the beach. Yes, these are traditionally Australian, but there is more to this day than what these are. And of course I'm against getting drunk, especially with COVID-19 on the march. So basically I'm not going to enjoy hearing the news and finding out that some COVID-19 has broken out because people who are drunk decided to flout the laws. I know the laws are boring, but they're necessary to keep us from not getting sick and spreading this disease. We don't have a vaccine yet. We're going to have one hopefully soon. I think they're about to authorise it, which I'm really happy for. But basically, I see Australia Day as a time where we should celebrate our achievements, like in technology and science and engineering, business, industrial industry and shit like that. I like to see Australia Day to be a little more practical than just recreational activities. I don't find the recreational side of things very appealing. I'm an industrialist. I want to build, one day I want to build photocopiers and everything we do with these photocopiers. The only thing that won't be Australian will be the stuff we ship from overseas, like we want to build these future photocopiers out of recycled materials, and much of this recycled materials I'd like to take it from China and India, where a lot of electronic waste is dumped, and I want to make these machines as much as recycled as possible out of recycled materials. And I also want to help clean up these countries, their rubbish tips. That looks interesting, but I don't want it like this. So really I'm a person who just wants to make a real difference. I just can't sit back and do recreational things like that. I'm just not interested. And my future husband Luigi, he also is in on the photocopier stuff. He's going to be a huge important help. I can't do this photocopier stuff on my own. So, I'm trying to make a difference. I want to make the environment clean. I want to produce lots of jobs for people living in Australia. I want to really just make a difference. I'm just not interested in celebrating recreation. I know there doesn't seem to be much hope in this world. There seems to be, I guess, a lot of people, especially young people, like to get drunk simply because there is no hope. There is no hope, and they're really worried about their future, so they just think they could live for here and now and just get drunk and get smashed. Even though it's not good now because we have COVID-19. We get drunk, we let down our guard, and then we do stupid things, and next thing you know we have a cluster to deal with. So I really hate this disease, and I really hate the way the world has become a real COVID-19 kind of a world, but we have to fucking somehow deal with it. We have to somehow just try and tread water until we get a vaccine come down under, and the rest of the world has to be vaccinated as well. So it's taking a long time, and even the countries that have vaccines are so seriously overrun with this dreadful pandemic that there is really a problem, and it just seems like they can't roll out the vaccine fast enough. I feel sorry for England and the US, who've got real major problems. We in Australia, relatively speaking, are really fortunate that our pandemic hasn't gone too bad. We've managed to keep it under reasonable control. Even though it does, we have to wear masks, which I really hate. In this heat, I can't wear a fucking mask. I have to avoid travelling on the bus on daylight today, or on public transport, because you do have to wait when you're waiting for the bus. Apparently you have to wear a mask at the bus stop as well as on the bus. I learned that from someone at my work just under a week ago. So I don't want to get into trouble. So basically I just avoided going to work yesterday because the heat wave was still happening, and I just couldn't handle wearing a fucking mask in this heat. Now, we seem to be getting some interesting ones here, but we're not getting what we're quite after. But basically, I'm actually thinking this one looks nice. I'm trying to decide which one we'll do. But I'm really missing my partner, Luigi, and I'm really trying my best to make these demos into something really nice. But I really miss my partner, and I'm trying to get this stuff on television, on the primetime news, right where the COVID-19 would ordinarily sit. And that's a challenge. It's really difficult trying to compete with something like that. And I'm really trying my best to put it out there. I really miss Luigi, and I'm just doing my best to make this happen. But I just can't wear a mask in this heat, so I have to avoid travel. Even with air conditioning, I still have major problems breathing. And I'm sure I'm not the only person who has these somewhat inconvenient sentiments. And all because someone created a cluster on the northern beaches, and now we have to wear masks. So thanks be to those fucktards who did it, who broke the law somewhere along the line, or wasn't careful enough. The Northern Beaches cluster has left us this legacy. I'm not happy. So yeah, so fucking, that's why I hate this Australia Day celebrations, because people just love to get pissed, so get drunk. But I'm going to make a difference one day, and most of the money I earn as the CEO of the Future Photocopier Company is going to be utilised towards science and humanitarian causes to fix up this climate change and other dreadful things that we've created through the love of money, which is the driver of just about everything bad, including COVID. I really miss my partner Luigi. I really need to find him. It's not as easy as it looks. I haven't had to use the fan this year. I think I've probably said that. Hopefully I won't. I'm trying to save power because it's probably going to be a cold winter and I'll need the heater for that. But the heater takes up a lot more energy than a fan, I must say. So maybe what I save on the fan may not be enough to save for the heating. I'm just going to line these up. This is into an interesting arrangement. But yeah, this is an Aussie day. I don't wear temporary tattoos. I just bought these for this demo. And I'll probably give them away. They'll go to a charity. Just try and line these up. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that looks really Aussie. I think now we can call this demo quits.